guys, today we're going to be installing a second battery and battery switch in my 96 Sea Ray Bowrider. And so I've done this before with a 97 Bayliner, and so the process is going to be pretty much the exact same with this boat as well as whatever boat you may be doing this with, inboard or outboard. The process is going to be the same, and you'll need essentially all of the same parts that I have laid out here. So you'll need your second battery, you'll need 3 additional battery cables. I have 2 gauge battery cables here, 2 2-foot long cables, and then a 3-foot long cable, a 4-position battery switch, which can do battery 1, battery 2, both batteries, or off, some cable clamps and heat shrink to keep everything nice and clean there. I have some ring terminals. I'm gonna have to put these ring terminals on the end of my battery cables that are going from the motor in there because the ends on there weren't looking too good, so I'm gonna replace those. Some screws and wing nuts just to install the battery switch as well as to secure the cables onto the batteries. And this is pretty much everything you'll need to get this done. Then in the boat already, I also have a couple battery boxes that you'll see that I'll be placing the batteries in and securing inside the boat. This is a simple diagram of how I'll be wiring everything. Here's battery 1 and battery 2, and each battery, the positive terminal connects to the corresponding terminal on the back of the battery switch. You can kind of see here, this is the actual switch, and so this is kind of how it's gonna go. So the engine will have its positive terminal running to the out of the battery switch. The accessories will also have it going to the out of the battery switch, and the bilge pump will have its own separate connections going to battery 1, just so when the battery switch is turned to the off mode, the bilge pump will still function, say if I have it moored out on the lake or river somewhere. And for the negative side, each battery will have a shorter cable going between the two from their negative terminals, as well as the engine, accessories, and bilge pump will all have their negative side going into battery 1, which in this case is going to be the main battery for everything. So that's a simple diagram of how I'll be setting it up. As I'm actually wiring everything up, I'll kind of show you what that actually looks like down in the battery compartment. All right guys, what I'm showing you now is essentially how the boat was set up previously with just the 1 battery. And so as you can see, there's no battery box of any kind in there. And what I'll show you next is what it's going to look like with the 2 batteries in the battery boxes. Here you can see both batteries in their battery boxes, as well as I will be placing the battery switch over against this wall here so that it's easily accessible. The first thing I'll be doing here is securing the battery boxes to the bottom of the boat using the provided screws and strut. I'll be drilling pilot holes and then going back through with the screws with a little bit of silicone sealant. I just completed the battery box installation with the securing straps. I was then able to get the batteries inside the boxes and get them all in there. I will go ahead and move on to wiring everything up for the switch. Here are the cables from the engine, the positive and the negative. I will be cleaning them up and putting these new ring terminals on them. All right guys, so I have the ends on all of the battery cables, and I've routed them around to where the switch will be. And so I've got the positive from the engine, I have the positive accessory wire, I have the positive from battery 1 and the positive from battery 2, all coming up here, and then so we'll go ahead and install this battery switch. I've made all the connections to the back of the switch. Now all that's left to do is mount it to this board. All right, everything is now installed, and so I'll just give you a few close-ups of what it looks like in here. I still have a little more cleanup to do back here with some zip ties and cable clamps, so I'll get that done afterwards. Now I'm going to do some testing. Battery 1, battery 2, both batteries. Thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you're able to see everything you needed to. It's obviously a tight space in there. If you found the video useful, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. What I've got here is an amp, a couple new Kenwood speakers, and a new fuse block that I'll be installing and posting up there in the next week or so. Thanks again, guys.